Well, on Friday, state lawmakers passed a $92 billion budget, but they left some key issues unresolved.
Yeah, like they still need to iron out differences with the governor over welfare, financial aid for college students, and in-home services for the elderly and the infirm. Joining us now is Assemblyman Michael Allen, and he is the Assistant Majority Leader. So you were up there at the top. My question to you is, what was the mood Friday when you passed this nearly almost complete, but not quite there budget and handed it to the governor?
Well, you know, the reaction was relief, but kind of anticlimactic. A lot of us thought we were going to be there till very late. We thought that there might be more trailer bills to come out later that cover more subjects. But we got done by about 2:30 with the major part of the budget. And so I think the mood was that, okay, Friday we got the major part of the budget done, maybe 98%, 99%, but the next 2 weeks are going to be long weeks because sometimes it's that little part that's left, those contentious subjects that take up a lot of energy.
So Friday was the deadline where everybody had to pass this budget or lawmakers wouldn't get paid. Of course, you've heard the criticism that people just rushed this through at the last minute, even though there may be some gimmicks, some budget tricks in there just to beat that deadline. What do you say to that?
Well, what I say is that the public passed Proposition 25 because they wanted budgets on time, and that's what they're getting, budgets on time. And the actual technical things that you want to get right, you want to spend a little bit more time on. But if you remember, we were getting budgets, you know, done in August, September, very late. And this is a big improvement.
Well, it is interesting. I spent a lot of time covering Sacramento, and it was always a big bunch of drama at this time of year. You know, we had the IOUs going out. What made it different this time? Was it just, you know, the prop that put that rule that would have taken your paychecks away, or the fact that the Republicans kind of stepped to the side?
I think it was a number of factors. Number one, I think the relationship between leadership and the governor is good. Number two, you're right, the Republicans did decide to step aside and say, you know, it's your budget, you're the Democrats, we're not going to participate, although we would like them to. Their votes could be relevant if they chose to be.
One of the biggest differences, Ann, and I'd like to ask you about this, is that these budgets now include these things called triggers. In other words, they used to fight over spending cuts. Now what they're saying is, if the voters approve taxes, this budget stands. If not, then you built in triggers, which are automatic cuts, which we started seeing this year, midway through, that will go into effect without coming back to vote for them. How does that affect things?
Well, Phil, that's an excellent point, because it would be dishonest to build a budget and say, you know what, the voters are going to approve the tax increases in November. We don't know that. So the only way to intellectually and physically honestly to do it is you build in mirror cuts that if we don't get the money, these cuts happen by operation of law, because that's the way we built the budget. That's the only way you can do it and have it balanced.
That makes it easier for lawmakers, though, because you say you're not cutting right then and there, right?
You're not cutting right then and there, and you're not taking catastrophic decisions that may not be necessary.
You're putting it all in the laps at that point of the voters, who are going to have to decide on these, you know, tax increases come November.
We're putting in the laps of the voters, but we're also trying to create an atmosphere where people are looking at Sacramento and saying, okay, they're getting the time. The next thing is, are they going to be successful in pension reform?
Exactly.
Are they spending our money appropriately? Are they being responsible? And I think that's the atmosphere and the kind of going forward, the thing that we want to do is to give people confidence that we know what we're doing and that we're trying to stabilize California, not only for this year, but for the out years, so that we actually have a financial plan in place for the next 4 years for California.
And what do you think the odds are for pension reform? Because that is the next step in this budget. The governor says he wants to have that done before he takes those taxes to the voters. Are we going to see it?
Well, in my opinion, you're asking the right guy, because I'm one of 6 legislators that sit on the conference committee for pension reform. And personally, I can tell you, and I know my Democratic colleagues feel the same way, that we want to deliver the 12 points, the 12 items that the governor has proposed for pension reform. We think it's a very good first step. And so you'll probably see that appear in late July, August. August 31st would be the deadline, but we see that package is essentially one of the most important components of the work we do this year in Sacramento.
State Assemblyman Michael Allen, thanks for being here this morning.
Thank you so much.
We will be right back.